What is your response to them saying you went rogue?
Well, that's the defense that they're going to try to put forward. It's going to fail and fail miserably. There was notifications that came into the Trump organization about her. She was going to go public with the information.
Michael Cohen explaining himself on this very program. Today, he explained himself to the jury and the cross-examination that we've been covering. We're joined now by Duncan Levin, former prosecutor in the Manhattan DA's office, knows his way around these exact issues. Welcome back.
Thank you, Ari.
Are you so biased for your former colleagues that you have to say the case is always going perfectly?
They have a really difficult witness.
Well, no, just so yes,
no.
Well,
I'm
yes
not biased.
No?
I come neutrally. I'm a defense attorney now.
No, I know, but you're not so biased that you have to say their case is going perfectly, right?
It's going well, but it's not going perfectly because today was a great example of it, maybe the best example of it. The defense had a day off, and they got to really look over the testimony that Michael Cohen gave on Tuesday. And what they did with it was they landed some blows during it. And at the end of this trial, both sides are going to go up and make an argument about Michael Cohen. The prosecution is going to say...
Well, let's slow down. I got to slow you down.
Sure.
It's giving lawyer.
Yes.
Okay? Takes one to know one. Before we get to closing arguments, I just want to zero in on, you would say today you would give what kind of grade to what the defense was able to do? Because I've walked through the fact that they don't have a whole cogent story. They don't yet have an alternative explanation of everything. Donald Trump could still be convicted on the evidence. But they seem to raise not one, not two, but, 4, 5, 6+ issues with Cohen.
I thought it was a B+ because they threw a lot out there over the last few days at Michael Cohen. They have all sorts of theories, but they're trying to see what sticks. And they really haven't come up with an alternate theory about what happened here that explains it. They're doing a good job of showing Michael Cohen to be shifty. They're doing a good job of showing him to be a liar. And today they did a good job of showing him to be lying to this very jury. And I think that's the first time
you think they nailed him for lying to this jury?
I think there are a few areas where they did, and it landed some blows. That phone call that happened on October 24, 2016, to Keith Schiller, who's Trump's body man, I thought was a very effective way of showing that Michael Cohen was lying to this jury. Obviously, they're going to argue it, and the prosecution's going to say that wasn't a lie. But this was a 90-second phone call that Michael Cohen testified on direct was the moment that he spoke with Donald Trump about Stormy Daniels. And the call was preceded by some text messages between Michael Cohen and Keith Schiller about a young girl who had been harassing him. And right before the call, and Keith Schiller texts back, "Call me." And then there's a 90-second phone call. And I thought the defense did a very good job of cross-examining Michael Cohen on that point and showing you didn't really talk about Stormy Daniels during that phone call. That call was about this girl who had been harassing you. Now, it's not dispositive, but that was a very good moment for them to show that Michael Cohen was lying on the stand.
Yeah, when you say dispositive, you mean it's not a slam dunk that ends the question, but it is bad. And I'm curious if you could just elaborate that for us, because again, we're all watching this, but not everyone's in the courtroom. Had it been 5 minutes or 10, or had there been a follow-up text that said, "Glad I could connect you to the boss," had there been anything supporting Cohen's version? What you're saying is the defense, which isn't in charge, they're responding, right, managed to find something where you said, hey, let's call and have a talk about X, this unrelated harassment issue, and then you had a very short call about X, and that's the end of it. We're to believe that what? You got on and off with the president as well, then candidate? Go ahead.
Jurors are called upon to use their common sense, and the defense is going to say, you're texting with somebody about something. They say, "Call me." You have a 90-second phone call. It's pretty obvious what you were talking about on the phone. And Michael Cohen was saying, no, that was a call about Stormy Daniels. Now, I don't fault Cohen for that as much as I fault the DA's office for that, because there's no reason to have elicited in the direct testimony that Michael Cohen was having a call with Donald Trump on that specific date at that specific time.
Well, let's dive in. Let's dive in a little deeper. Now we're going from just a normal interview to like a Reddit subthread. You know what that means?
I do.
Okay, we're going to go in it. Do you think a juror, if convinced that Cohen lied about this to strengthen the case against Trump, to say not only that he had the intent, which is his testimony, but here's the day that those ends meet, could a jury think Cohen lied about that and still in good conscience vote to convict?
Yes, they could, because the core part of this case is so corroborated, and there are so many other things, and it doesn't really matter what day and what phone call, what time it was that he talked about Stormy Daniels. There's so much other specific information that he testified to that is corroborated, but this specific time, was it this call on October 24, 2016?